Hi, welcome to a conversation around District 1 with me, Mike McKay. Welcome. This is an opportunity that we like to interview certain people from around the district that's been very influential. They could be elected officials, they could be people that have been in business, or they could be people who happen to be the face of a particular topic that's important to so many of you who reside here in District 1. And today, actually, we have a great special guest. His name is Terry McKenzie. You know, Terry at one time was an elected official from the city of Frostburg. He was a council member from 1990 to 1994. Before that, he spent 22 years in Allegheny County as a self-employed businessman owning Frostburg Pizza. And a lot of people now know him from when it was the Gold Team. The man wore a gold jacket, along with so many people, as a realtor for 25 years here, sold millions and millions of dollars of real estate, and now retired. I introduce to you Mr. Terry McKenzie. What are you doing today, Terry? What's occupying your time?
Actually, Mike, I totally retired, and I've been in pastoral care at UPMC when I was even over at Sacred Heart. So my main goal, my main love is just serving the people, and I'm what's called a prayer partner at UPMC. And then I have a ministry kind of of my own because I have a heart for people that are on drugs, that are whatever issues they have. I guess God just puts them right in front of me every day, and as my shirt shows, I walk with the Lord.
Well, we appreciate you listening to the Holy Spirit as the Holy Spirit leads you in so many different directions. But relying upon and coming upon people that need you, need Christ in their lives, and just allow you to be that shepherd. You know, Amen. It's interesting you talk about God. You know, we had House Bill 181 that was put forth in the Maryland General Assembly, and I hate to say it, but this bill was actually removing all reference of God from the Maryland Constitution. And luckily, we were able to get this bill withdrawn. The delegate who had put in, Terry Hill, which is a good, nice delegate. I've worked with her on so many things. But this one was a bridge too far, and she and I, we were definitely different of removing God from all reference. And she had told me that, or their office had told me that they had not received more than one person who thought it was a good idea. So it was regardless of Republicans or Democrats or independents, no one thought that it was a good thing to remove God from the Maryland Constitution. When you heard about this, what went through your mind?
Well, I gotta tell you, Mike, as soon as I heard about it, I thought just total absurdity. This country was founded on Christian belief. The state of Maryland, of course, Christian belief. It was extremely upsetting to me, and I'm sure it was extremely upsetting to many Christian people. We feel that Christian people feel we need God in our life, in our state, in our country.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, this past week in Annapolis, we had the March for Life, and I was very, very proud to be down advocating for life. Both in the womb as well as end of life. You know, the General Assembly in past years has put in bills to have, it's basically assisted suicide. We have been able to defeat that, but once again, that bill's going to be coming up, and I'm looking that they're going to have to fight really, really hard, and there's people like yourself who will get active. How does somebody get active, and how would you encourage somebody to have their voice heard in Annapolis?
I would say that the best media, and I know people might not want to hear it, but I think some of the social media is a good way. The other way is to look for your religious leaders, whatever community you're in, and just, you know, whatever pastors. I'm very flexible. I don't have any prejudice against any religion, so I could deal with any pastor. And I think those are the two best sources. And when you get with a Christian group somewhere, naturally, you're going to make friends, but then your group's going to be stronger and be better heard.
Yeah, I tell you, the first God-given right is life. The Declaration of Independence actually states clearly there are inalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And so until this practice of ending life is abolished, I know, along with your help and many others, we will continue to advocate for those who can't speak for themselves, and I appreciate your willingness to do so by helping me down in the General Assembly. That brings me back to a third topic that you may have some feelings. That I've put in a essential services bill. Now, this bill, during a state of emergency when it comes to the health, we had this pandemic, which we're on the tail end of, and unfortunately, while Governor Hogan not intention was to close the churches, synagogues, or even Islamic education centers, because churches or houses of worship were not listed as an essential service, those got shut down, but Walmart remained open, Dollar General remained open, the liquor stores opened, but yet we couldn't worship God. And how did that make you feel and others that are in pastoral care and those other leading those of the flock?
I felt very strongly that our constitutional right says we have the right to worship. I feel it was a horrible mistake for anybody to mandate all churches close. I definitely feel that decision should have been made by the local pastors and the deacon board or whatever. And I just felt that we Christians were being stripped of our constitutional right to worship God.
Well, we're going to make sure that the Maryland Constitution and the laws therein that govern it, the great state of Maryland, we will be dropping that essential services bill. And so we're encouraging people like yourself, other like-minded people that believe that our houses of worship should be able to remain open. Now, those will be concerned about it that, if you're open, you still had to adhere to any local or state health department rules when it comes to masks or comes to social distancing and all that kind of stuff. But it just seemed to me if you can stand in line at a liquor store or you can congregate around the meat or the produce department at Walmart, you certainly can go to church and be fed a different way, and that's being spiritually fed. So we look forward to working with you on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just one of those interesting things. So, Terry, I've reached out to you. You've reached out to me. The best way to reach out to me is to call me on my cell phone, 301-697-2622, or you can email me at mike@mikemaymd.com. Terry, is there anything else that you would like to share with the folks as we are taping this episode of A Conversation with Delegate McKay?
Mike, I'm sitting here because of you. And as a businessman, I've worked with you. As a Christian, certainly, we've crossed paths in different efforts. I just think it's so important that you're already in the process. You know who you need to know. You are an awesome Christian man. You have 8 children. Thanks to your wife to be beside your side. She's an awesome woman for sure.
She's the saint.
But I brag you up all the time. And I go back to the senators like Senator Mason. The different ones we had. We could find them and they got things done. And recently there was a state employee was having trouble with a pension issue and you had it solved in 3 days. And this is what it takes. Somebody that we can find, cell phone, email, whatever, and I just congratulate you, and I just can't say enough that you are available. You're out there and you're seen, and you do know right now who you need to know. And Lord knows we in Western Maryland definitely need to be heard.
Yeah, there's definitely that our voice needs to be heard. And with Senator Edwards retiring and then also Delegate Beitzel retiring, Senator Edwards had 40 years in the General Assembly. Beitzel had 16 years in the General Assembly. And if I'm picking up the cards you're laying down, it's so important to have established relationships down with both sides of the aisle in the General Assembly. And so hopefully we have demonstrated to the people of Western Maryland that our 8 years of relationships do matter. And on a funny note, Senator Edwards, 40 years, Delegate Beitzel, 16 years. That's 56 years. So while I only have 8 years of networking in the General Assembly, I do have a belt that's 56 inches. So I do have a 56-inch waist. So if you can't send somebody with 56 years, maybe you can send someone down with a 56-inch waist. No, Terry, just being kind of funny here. Yep. I'd like to thank you for being with us on this particular episode. And so for the rest of you all, again, my cell phone number is 301-697-2622. My email address is mike@mikemckaymd.com. I strive to be your voice in Annapolis. You've blessed me by being your county commissioner. You've blessed me by being your delegate for 2 terms. And hopefully, if the Lord shows favor in June, you'll bless me to continue representing you in Annapolis as a senator in the great General Assembly in the state of Maryland. Until then, thank you, Terry. Appreciate you being on.
With a quick statement, I want to let people know that in case they feel maybe they can't get a hold of you or they fear calling you, I'm 24/7. I'm on Facebook. I'm everywhere. I'm out here to not only serve the Lord, but I'm out here. I love where I live. We're in Western Maryland. If anybody feels they can't find you, you can find me, and I'll guarantee I'll find Mike.
Well, thank you for being a blessing, and thank you all for watching this episode of A Conversation within District 1.